What's up, everybody? It's Sid and Millie back with another episode. Thank you so much for joining us today on this lovely World Cup final day. Spain, we love you.
Spain has won for football. Come on.
Let's go. Spain versus Argentina in the World Cup final. 1-0. It was a nail biter, low key. It was a nail biter, but also kind of boring. But
yeah.
We'll get into that. But just from the first reaction, they won.
They won. Unbelievably excited. Unbelievable result for Spain. They more than deserves it. They were absolutely the best team on the pitch today, hands down. It wasn't even a competition, honestly.
No.
Argentina did not register a shot for 115 minutes.
How embarrassing for them.
115 minutes before they got their first shot.
That is crazy.
Going through 90 minutes of football without a shot, they didn't deserve to be there. They did not deserve to be there. It's absolutely ridiculous that they even made it there.
Yeah.
Because they just weren't even close. Not even in the similar category or league as Spain was.
No, literally not at all. Spain owned the game.
Yeah.
I mean, they showed the little, I don't know what the chart is, where it
like
shows
the momentum.
Position. Oh, the momentum.
Yeah.
And it was all red.
All red.
It was all red. There was like little parts where there was blue on there, but it was all red.
All red, yeah. And the whole world was red today.
Yeah.
The whole entire world was behind Spain, cheering for Spain, wanting Spain to lift the trophy. They've been the best team throughout this entire tournament, and they absolutely deserve the win on the day, hands down.
Absolutely.
No questions asked. I mean, 20-something shots on target, or shots generally before they scored their goal. 12 shots on target throughout the match, forcing Emi Martinez to make saves, tons of saves, the most saves in a World Cup in history. And it just speaks volumes to how dominant Spain were throughout the entire match. I mean, Argentina did not show up.
No.
And we knew from previous matches that this team was not at the same caliber as Spain.
Absolutely
not even close.
The only player that showed up on Argentina's squad was their goalkeeper.
Yep.
Had an absolute worldie of a performance.
I know, yeah.
Please.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only person that showed up for them.
For real.
Crazy.
And the reality is that Argentina didn't have anything. They didn't create anything. They weren't able to pass through Spain. They weren't able to get Messi on the ball. They weren't able to get Alvarez on the ball. They couldn't do anything. They had nothing. Spain completely snuffed them out for the entirety of the 120 minutes. And it was boys against men.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
Put
simply, it was just absolutely dominant from Spain.
Yeah.
And they should have scored earlier in the match. They had opportunities, had chances, had shots on target that were just too close to the goalkeeper, and inevitably could have won this game 4-5-0 had it been a different day and the ball fell differently. But there was just never a chance for Argentina, which is what we've been saying all along. Without the calls, without the VAR, without the controversy, they are not the footballing team that they think they are.
Not at
and
all.
Today showed that. They were played off the pitch, spanked on the way out, and sent packing. That's right. What do we want to say? Spanish? Right, we're giving a nice
right on the rump.
Yeah, nice firm one.
Oh my gosh.
So but let's get into the match. Let's get into like the game and the things that were happening in the match. So talk to me a little bit about the yellow cards.
The yellow cards. I mean, there were a lot of yellow cards. I do not remember the situation specifically.
Not a situation specifically, just the fact that Argentina was avoiding bookings in the first half like the plague. Absolutely. They were committing terrible fouls, two-footed tackles, trying to drag Lamine Yamal down, fouling other people. It was atrocious. Yeah. And they should have already received probably 5 bookings in the first half alone. And they were all missed. The tackle from McAllister, yellow card, no doubt. And ironically, he got a yellow card in extra time, which would have meant he got sent off had the referee called the game properly.
Yeah.
So again, kind of just crazy the fact that he was, again, allowing these sorts of things to go, despite the fact that these fouls were serious fouls. And again, it's one of those situations where we really want to see consistent refereeing. We want to see, the game called as it should be called. And Argentina once again dodged countless yellow cards for fouls that should have resulted in yellow cards.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the first half was just a story of them getting away with stuff.
Yeah, and I would say just like overall karma. Because Argentina has gotten away with murder throughout this entire World Cup.
And how do we know that? 87 fouls committed before this game. 87 fouls committed, the most of any team at the tournament. And not a singular VAR decision went against them.
Yeah,
that
not
says
a singular one.
Everything you need to know.
That is just blatant. I mean, we've talked about it in past videos. We know what it is. But just like, this, even in this game, having so many fouls basically back to back to back. I mean, I'm not shocked. And I'm honestly happy that they got the red card.
100%.
I'm so happy. I know that 100%. Was in the second half. Right?
Yeah, but you see, it was the first time that we've actually seen a referee give an Argentinian player a yellow card for dissent. The reality is only the captain of the teams is allowed to go up to the referee and dispute calls and argue and state your case. That's it. And throughout this tournament, we've seen Argentinian players pointing at referees, getting in the referee's face, surrounding referees, and it's unacceptable behavior. It is thuggery, and it should not be allowed in the sport. So today was the first time that they were actually rightfully penalized for that dissent. You cannot flail off at a ref's call. It's the same as kicking the ball away. It is dissent, and it is a yellow card every time.
Which we saw someone kick the ball away today,
That was Messi. Didn't get a yellow card.
And did not get a yellow card. No, just poor sportsmanship.
Yeah, so we know that they've been getting away with it all tournament, but guess what? Not today. Under the eyes of the entire world, over 4 billion people tuned in, and it was they were not getting away with it today. And so, a rightful yellow card for the first one. And the second one, absolutely a yellow card. Late after the ball is played, contact with the player's leg, literally flipped the guy, sent him landing on his back.
That was insane.
100% a yellow card.
That was
every single time.
Card. Yeah, 100%.
Every single time. So no arguments there. They got a yellow card, rightfully so. And they were lucky or a red card, rightfully so. And they were lucky to have not gotten a second red card later in the match. So once again, the reality is VAR and FIFA have protected Argentina all match. You said it earlier, karma is a bitch. Karma came back and bit Argentina in the ass.
Yeah.
And that's why they've lost this match. They wanted those calls. They were looking for calls, stopping in front of Spanish players, letting that contact come.
Yeah, please. There were so many instances of that. There was the one with Cucurella, I think is his name.
Yeah.
And he was running. The Argentinian player was running ahead of him and then just stopped dead. You can't do that.
Yeah, just waiting for the contact.
And then there was another one I saw, someone on the Argentina team, basically, they were running for a header, but they weren't even looking at the ball. They were looking at the person right in front of them.
Yep.
Were running, and just shouldered into them and knocked them over. I'm like,
just a lot of dirty stuff off the ball. Thank you. Exactly. And again, they've gotten away with those sorts of things all tournament. And it is not okay. Those are fouls. That is thuggery. That is dirty. And they got away with it all tournament. And today even, they still got away with a good bit of stuff, despite the fact that this referee did a phenomenal job in being neutral and actually calling fouls against them, and etc. But nonetheless, they still found a way to get away with calls. But I got to give credit to Spain, because they did not let the Argentinian nonsense get into their heads.
Facts.
They stayed focused on their game plan. They stayed focused in the way they wanted to play, and they continued to do so until they eventually got the goal. So you've got to give them credit. They didn't let any of Argentina's little mind games or late fouls mess with them. They didn't get in Argentina's face. They didn't push anybody when there was coming together as of players.
Nope.
It was always the Argentinian players provoking things, and Spain just let it go. They were focused on the football.
Yep.
And that is why football won today.
Yeah,
because,
absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And like the sportsmanship from the Spanish players versus the Argentinian players, you could see it. I mean, there were so many instances as well when like a Spanish player was fouled and then the Argentina players would come running over and start arguing and pushing and like trying to fight with people. I'm like, that's not where do you think you are right now?
I know, for real. They think it's like WWE or something. They're ready to fight. There's no octagon out on the pitch, and it's crazy how much they're allowed to charge the referee and get away with. It's just nuts.
Please, arguing like, oh my gosh, and then the red car guy.
I know, Enzo. No. Bro, we all saw it, Enzo. We all saw it.
We were watching you.
Clear yellow card tackle, clear red card for a second yellow. Undisputable.
Crazy.
But
gotten away with so many things.
So yeah, that some of those elements were just crazy. And now let's talk about the halftime show.
Oh yeah. What were your thoughts on the halftime show?
The halftime show, the epitome of what it represented. Good.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it is a 30-minute halftime is absolutely disrespectful to the game of football.
Yeah.
Our game is predicated around 15-minute half, and then we get back to football. It is actually blasphemous that FIFA allowed the United States to create this sort of nonsense
Super
around the sport.
Bowl-esque,
Yes, football does not require halftime performances or anything like that. I will, again, this has nothing to do with the performers or anything like that. The fact of the matter is this is a money grab. It is all for the advertising, all for the commercials, all for the companies to profit off of. It is not what the game of football is about.
Yeah, absolutely. Fact. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the message behind the halftime show, beautiful. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah. But to your point, the game of football is built on a lot of like the momentum and quickness, and even the hydration breaks throw a wrench in that.
Exactly.
So it's like having not only the hydration breaks in both halves, but also having a 30-minute halftime show.
It's just ridiculous.
It's just like, it's not what the game is meant to be about.
That is
a very Americanized version of football.
Thank you. And it is blasphemous to the sport. That is over a half of non-football that we all had to endure today. An entire, I don't even know, 45 minutes of non-football bullshit hydration breaks happening. Yeah. Or no. What would it be? An entire hour, right? Because 30 minutes from the halftime, 2 15-minute periods. So we watched an hour of blasphemy. So an hour or 30 minutes worth of commercial breaks, if you don't even include the extra time commercial breaks, which also are bullshit. But then on top of that, you have this 30-minute performance.
Because it's 6 p.m. Eastern right now, and the game started at 3. So it was literally 3 hours when games are supposed to be an hour and a half plus the 15-minute halftime.
And then maybe stoppages. But just ridiculous. Just not what we want to see. We're hoping the sport doesn't come to this. UEFA has already said that they would never include that sort of blasphemy in UEFA championships, and I'm very glad about that. The way FIFA operated this tournament, and I know we're going to do a recap after after everything, but the way they operated this tournament is absolute garbage. The commercial breaks, the money grab for advertisers, it's just unchecked capitalism at its finest. And it's tainted the sport. It's tainted the game of football, and football fans everywhere know that this is not how our sport is supposed to operate. Facts. So with all of that being said, I absolutely loved the love messaging that was presented at the halftime show. Love, the connection of humanity. That is the epitome of the World Cup. The connectedness of the human race, of our species, the fact that we are all one species, regardless of what you look like, your skin color. Absolutely love that. It's massive. There's no room for racism in football. Absolutely no room for racism in football. So again, that messaging was indeed needed, and 100% necessary. I mean, the United States is literally bombing Iran right now. So a message of love is, one, ironic coming from the United States, but it is the reality of what we need to progress our species further.
Absolutely.
Love
Yes.
amongst all humans.
Love. I know this is a scary word, but empathy.
Yeah.
Love and empathy.
Yep.
We need that absolutely in order to progress as human beings.
Yeah.
Just like with all this, turmoil and war that's going on right now, we just need more of that, more lightness in the world.
Yeah, 100%. So, that messaging was
beautiful,
definitely beautiful and definitely needed. So again, no issue with the messaging that was presented or the way it was presented, just an issue with the, setup of the way it was presented.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because again, they could have cut out Justin Bieber's sleepy song, Put Us All to Sleep, could have cut out Justin Bieber's garbage and just let the kids get to their song, and make the entire performance much shorter in order to, have it fit into that 15-minute window.
Yeah,
that's what should have happened.
Yeah.
But regardless, the messaging was brilliant, but completely unacceptable to have a 30-minute halftime for a football match.
Yeah,
so
absolutely unacceptable.
Needless to say that. So that was the halftime debacle. That was the whole halftime thing. But yeah, so I think apart from that, when the game kicked back off of halftime, there was a lull. The lull comes from a 30-minute break in the middle of a football match. And it took a little bit for Spain to get back into their rhythm, get back into their momentum. And we know Argentina obviously didn't show up to play, so they never popped up. But Spain needed a little bit to start knocking the passes and get back in. So again, it speaks to what you mentioned earlier. All these breaks in the game mess up the momentum of the game. So yeah,
absolutely. Oh no, go ahead.
No,
if you had something, it's because you paused. I was like, let me try and think of
something. Well, I was just gonna say, again, the fact that Argentina did not register a single shot until the 115th minute of this game is insane.
So bad.
No shots in an entire 90 minutes of football. Not a single shot on target that required the goalkeeper save. It is insane. It just highlights how outclassed they were. And the fact that they wouldn't have got to the final without the support that they were given.
Yeah, absolutely.
And those are definitely key metrics to key in on.
So overrated.
Yeah. 100%. And I mean, Spain, look, they've been the best team at this tournament by far, bar none. And they are the European champions. And they came into this tournament with a lot of momentum and a lot of, understanding of exactly who they are, how they want to play, and the way they're going to deal with teams in their threats. And so Spain, again, they neutralized everyone on Argentina, and forced Argentina to simply defend for 120 minutes. And I think that is just, again, speaking volumes to Spain's quality.
Truly.
Massively.
Absolutely speaking to their quality. And then one thing we didn't really touch on yet, but Manchester United's player getting injured. How do you feel about
that? Super disappointing for Lisandro Martinez. Again, it's just one of those things where it's frustrating because he was healthy for majority of the season, healthy for the entire tournament for Argentina, played every minute, but then gets injured in the final. And as we know, we're backed up into the start of the Premier League, as Manchester United has already gotten playing in the preseason. Really just missing or wishing Lisandro Martinez a speedy recovery. Hopefully it was muscular and nothing too serious, so he can get back in action very quickly.
True.
But for United's side of it, one, this will now be the second player that FIFA will have to compensate Manchester United for. So that's obviously beneficial because Manchester United is going to have to make necessary adjustments in the transfer market. But inevitably, with Aiden Heaven and Lenny Euro also as center back options to partner with Harry Maguire in that role, I'm really not too worried.
Obviously, I know you're excited for Heaven to get more of
exactly. So this is a great opportunity for Heaven. Obviously, we'll miss Lisandro Martinez entry balls into the midfield, into our forwards. But again, we know he's going to be recovering and coming back pretty quickly. So that's all we can really hope for at this point. But at the end of the day, I think Heaven and Euro are more than capable of keeping the ship afloat in his absence.
Definitely.
Because again, Heaven and Euro are the future of Manchester United. So I think we'll be all right. But most importantly, hoping Lissandro can get back to full health ASAP as possible, because we ain't got time to spare, brother. We got a Premier League to win.
Facts.
But I think needless to say, Spain's about to lift the trophy right now. Have it on in the background. It's just fantastic. Football, this tournament has it's been massively entertaining. And I'm just glad that football won and the better team won on the day.
Yes.
They absolutely deserve it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Anything we missed?
Did we talk about the actual goal itself?
Oh, the goal itself? I guess not.
I was like, I feel like I kind of interrupted your flow a little bit.
No, not at all. But yeah, the goal was, a fantastic goal. I think it was one of the first times in the game that Spain actually decided to play direct, because again, throughout the match, there was a lot of passing, a lot of possession. They got close to their 1,000 passes once again. But their goal, they finally go direct. They hit a driven ball deep into the box. Nico Williams nods it down, keeps it in play brilliantly, and Fernan Torres just slots it home at the right place, right time. Super substitution once again for Spain, coming in and making the difference. So absolutely fantastic goal. It was great to see Nico Williams also get the assist. Absolutely love to see that Spain finally has a few black players through Yamal and through Nico Williams. So fantastic for Nico Williams to get the assist for a game-winning goal at the World Cup. That's just amazing. Massive.
Yeah,
it's just massive.
Absolutely.
He struggled with injury throughout this tournament. He got injured at the tournament. So the fact that he was able to get back to full health and contribute to the Spain's team in such an important way it's just awesome. It's great for him.
Yeah, truly.
He had a rough season in Spain this past year. I think coming off of that, this will be a massive confidence boost for him. Apart from his assists, he had a great game. When he came on, he was a difference maker. Always trying to run at his outside back, always trying to create something for Spain, whether it was an early cross or runs in behind. Nico Williams was fantastic.
Yeah,
absolutely. So that was great for him, and of course, great for Fernan Torres to come in and get the finish.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they needed him on the field.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, difference maker, right?
For real.
And that's kind of something that is such an important part of the game, is who can you bring off your bench who can get you across the line? Because sometimes, the 11 lose steam throughout the match. So who's going to be that key player that can really show up and make things happen in a difficult match? And yeah, Torres did that. While he's on the screen right now, I got to say, Rodri was fantastic for Spain. Okay. He ended up getting subbed off, but, throughout the match, he was amazing. He won every second ball for Spain. And I mean, Spain dominated second balls. They won everything. Any ball bouncing around, they're challenging for. Anytime Argentina broke out, 3 Spanish players are closing in, closing down, trying to win the ball back immediately. The work rate from them is unmatched.
Yeah, if nothing else, they're going to work hard. They're going to come to play.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
Facts. And, the thing with this Spanish team is that they're a relatively young group of players. Apart from Rodri, their captain, who, is a little bit on the older side, apart from him, most of the team is mid to early 20s. So this is a Spanish team that could potentially be challenging for tournaments for a good long time, And that's fantastic to see.
Absolutely.
It's great to see a team that's not just reliant on their historical, players. Argentina started 8 players that played for them in the last World Cup final.
Wow.
So it highlights the fact that they're, reliant on that experience and those older lads. But the fact that Spain can do this with such a young group speaks volumes to who they are.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just really great to see that they have so many young players on the field and are really relying on their youth and building up their youth and making sure that it's not just not that it's bad to have the experienced players, obviously, but having a lot of youth on the field brings not only the fitness, but the creativity and just the freshness of the youth,
Yeah,
not youth, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. You hit the nail on the head with the fitness and those sorts of elements, because they bring a certain freshness and, hunger that you can't really get from,
intensity,
players. So Spain have now won the 2nd World Cup in their country's history.
Good for Spain.
So fantastic for them. fantastic for Lamine Yamal and for Nico Williams. Extremely happy for them and their contribution to this Spanish victory, because they were invaluable players for Spain throughout this tournament. So just fantastic for them. And again, football won.
Yes.
Football won. We can be happy knowing that football won this World Cup, because everything that happened, all of the controversy, football won. That's really all that matters. So despite all the blasphemy, I'm glad that Spain is the team that's lifting this trophy, because it is more than deserved.
Absolutely. Yeah. They actually played tough games, won tough games, showed up, and we're here to play.
Yeah. And we're the better team in every game they played.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So if you made it this far, thanks for following along in our World Cup coverage. This was the final. Spain are the champions of the world. They've won the World Cup. What a fantastic tournament that united the world, even in these turbulent times. Glad that football can at least bring over 4 billion people together. So I'm glad that we were a part of it. But yeah, those are our thoughts on the Spain versus Argentina World Cup final.
Yes. So like Millie said, if you made it this far,
thanks for watching.
And we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.